For those of you who are traveling into or within the U.S. state of Oregon, do not go or be near Portland. I repeat, avoid Portland at all costs. If you're traveling up and down the I-5 corridor between California and Washington state, avoid this city. I repeat, avoid this city. Portland is a very weird, very dicey, very toxic, very unpleasant, and a very uncomfortable environment to be in. So if you were to travel north or south through Oregon, I strongly recommend that you take routes that go around and be far enough away from Portland, not routes or highways that go near or through Portland. That is not a good idea. For those of you traveling between California and Washington via I-5, be forewarned that I-5 goes directly through Portland. So to avoid Portland, I strongly recommend that you take US Route 97 in Northern California, cross into Oregon through Klamath Falls, head north past Crater Lake, and then north through Bend, continue north all the way up to the Columbia Gorge at I-84, and cross into Washington that way. Or if you were to continue north on I-5 through Medford, Roseburg, and Eugene, I suggest that you stop your journey in Albany or Salem. Don't go further north, or else you'll be in Portland, the crazy weird city that I really strongly don't recommend you going to. And I also suggest you avoid the 503 area code, because once you cross into Marion County, then you're in 503, and Portland's area code is 503. If you are traveling up north on Highway 101 up the coastline, then I strongly suggest that you end your journey in either Newport or Lincoln City. You can either head east through the Coast Range to the valley and head back south on I-5 via Salem and Albany, or you could just turn around and come back south the way you came in. But seriously, don't go to this place. For those of you who are traveling by train between California and points in Washington, or vice versa, be forewarned that the Amtrak Coast Starlight train between LA and Seattle, or vice versa, goes through and makes a stop in Portland. So if you want to avoid Portland, regardless of how safe you are on the train, I suggest that you get off the train in either Klamath Falls, Oregon, or Kelso Longview, Washington, rent a car, and find your way to places that are far enough away from Portland. For those of you traveling into Oregon by train from points eastward via the Empire Builder route, which is between Chicago and Seattle/Portland, I suggest that you get off the train in either Spokane or Pasco, Washington. For those of you who plan to travel by train eastward out of Oregon, I suggest that you catch the Empire Builder in either Pasco or Spokane. So that way you're not in Portland. And finally, for those of you who plan to or currently booking and purchasing tickets for commercial airline flights to destinations within Oregon, originating from either Washington, California, the Midwest, Texas, or the East Coast, I strongly recommend that you book tickets for connecting flights to either Eugene, Redmond, or Medford. Do not book and purchase tickets for airline flights to and from Portland. Avoid PDX Airport at all costs. Here are screenshots taken from Google Maps Street View. Look how nasty this looks. And another one, under this overpass, over by the river. Nobody expected that from a city that was once a tourist attraction. Not so touristy anymore. Look at Portland's freeways. Overly congested. Nobody likes to be stuck in a traffic jam this size, even when it's not rush hour. Even my father hates driving through that. It makes him anxious, it makes him overwhelmed. Plus, aggressive and very careless drivers tend to tailgate and cut you off. Definitely stay clear from this stretch of freeway. Finding a place to park your vehicle while touring Portland is often very challenging, very difficult, and very limited. You do not want to accidentally exceed the maximum parking limit, and you don't want your car to be towed, especially if you got some plushies inside a bag that's stored inside your vehicle. So definitely avoid Portland for mental health reasons. Portland is a place where a mental health crisis is waiting patiently to happen. Also, stay clear from places that say no parking. The cost of parking in a no parking zone, especially if it's in a loading or fire lane, is often very expensive and spendy. Nowadays, Portland is dubbed Tent City. It's no longer the tourist city that I'm used to. It's very sad. Also, Portland is no longer a safe city to be in. A lot of crime happens there. And a lot of them are violent crimes, and which makes people not feel like they want to be there anymore. Certainly, I don't. I don't feel safe being there. I don't feel safe being near there. I say Portland is a no-go for me. I've been in Portland many times in my life, and I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere new this time. Definitely avoid Portland. If you don't want to be a victim of a crime, don't go to this city. Because the city is so big and overwhelming, due to large amount of car traffic, plus the Portland streetcars, it takes time for the police to reach you if you need them. Especially if you've been a victim of theft or vandalism, etc. And even more risky situations like crimes in progress. For example, what if you've been a victim of robbery? What if you've been a victim of a break-in? Or what if you've been threatened? That's not good. So definitely avoid Portland at all costs. Because Portland is a tri-county metroplex, you do not want to report incidents like these to the counties of Clackamas, Multnomah, and Washington, nor the cities of Hillsborough, Beaverton, Portland, Oregon City, Gresham, and Troutdale.
2 years ago, we were very sad that the nearest Disney store, which was in the Clackamas Town Center Mall, which is within the Portland vicinity, closed in 2021. First of all, we were all sad that we no longer have a Disney store, because that's where our owner Catropolis bought me and Ralph in late 2018. Now I look back and I'm like, it's a good thing that Disney store moved out of there. It's a good thing there's no longer a Disney store in Portland, because Portland is not a safe city anymore. So it happened for the better. Safety reasons. Safety is the number one priority. And we want to make sure that us Sugar Rush plushies are there for our owner when he needs us. Especially if he's caught in an emergency situation. Do not go to Portland. Do not be near Portland. Stay out of Rose City, which is now Tent City. Be far enough away from that junk city. There are too many owies there, waiting patiently to happen.
Portland is not good for your mental health. If you want to feel better, stay away from that city.